You're listening to the Blunders and Flagons podcast. Thick underbrush rustles softly as our hobbit heroes crouch low, their breath barely audible over the chirping of crickets and the distant hoot of an owl. The crackle of a campfire flickers somewhere nearby, but their attention is locked on something far more dangerous, lurking just beyond the trees.
Right then, mates. We're in a truly treacherous part of the world tonight. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it breathing.
You mean a troll?
A dragon? Worse. The lore master.
By the green hills. Look at him. He's just sitting there, watching us.
Aye, don't be fooled by the stillness. That there's a calculated stillness. He's waiting, calculating, biding his time.
The lore master. Conninus overlordus is a cunning predator. Silent, unassuming, but with a single stroke of his quill, he can rewrite our fates. He controls the very fabric of our reality, shifting the landscape with nothing more than a knowing smirk. And if you listen real close now, you can hear the most chilling sound an adventurer can hear.
Is that an attack roll? A weather shift? Oh, no, did he just roll for an ancient prophecy?
Worse, he's smiling.
That's the danger sign. A smiling lore master means he's just thought of something truly evil.
What do we do then? Do we run? Do we hide?
No sudden movements, If we act natural, maybe he won't notice us.
No good. He's looking this way. He's leaning forward now. He's reaching for the lore scrolls.
Oh no! He's asking us if we remember an event from 6 sessions ago.
We're done for, lads. Done for, I'm telling you.
Well, it's been an honor.
Wait, Chance, what if we offer him a gift? You know, a peace offering.
Right, quick, someone, sacrifice a cheese wheel.
I think it worked. He's nodding. He's reaching for his drink instead of the quill.
Oh, by shine. We're saved.
Barely, but let's not push our luck. Move!
You hear a whisper on the wind. Roll history.
No!
Welcome to Blunders and Flagons, the podcast where whimsy meets mystery in the world of Middle-earth. I'm Daniel, and I'm thrilled to have you here on this epic journey with laughter, questionable decisions, and a fair share of hobbit-sized antics. I am joined by an incredible cast of my brothers. I am having the wonderful fortune of playing the wonderful and fatherly and perhaps too wise for his own good, Baralac Bramblefoot. He is an herbalist extraordinaire, and he enjoys wandering the Shire to gather crops and plants and herbs that he uses medicinally, recreationally, and culinarily, if that's a word. Sure, why not, you know. And he's got a family back home up in Needlehole, and an interesting fact about him is that his neighbor's name is Extenius Sandman of something or other, and his neighbor had decided to attempt to get some animals, and he got geese. And if you don't know, geese can be quite aggressive. And Barry had several run-ins with these geese, and so he's kind of developed a bit of a misliking for not just geese, but feathered fowl in general. So that might relate quite well to our situation, at least some past things. But I've gone on for quite long enough. I'm going to turn it over to the youngest member of our quartet here, and turn it over to my brother, Drew.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm Drew. I'm happy to be here and be playing the young tiny little banjo Groman, who is definitely also the youngest of the hobbits. And one of my top secret facts about banjo is also actually a phobia. Back when he was a wee tyke, as they call it, he and his brothers were hanging out, and brothers were like, you know what? We should find out how many blankets we can stack on top of you. And young banjo, he replied, oh yeah, that's sure, just trying to be one of the crowd, and there he's laying on the bed, and there the brothers stack of one blanket after the other, and one by one, Banjo feels his whole body all of a sudden. First he's laughing, enjoying it, and all of a sudden, he's not laughing anymore. He can't move his arms, he can't move his legs, and he's like, oh, he starts telling his brothers, and all of a sudden they slink out of the room, and Banjo's left all alone, can't even move a muscle. And it scarred him for the rest of his life. So Banjo is very, very, very afraid of tight spaces, and whenever he's not in control of his own body, he's very, very scared of those types of scenarios. So that's a little fun top secret fact about Banjo, and a little spooky fact.
It's interesting. That exact situation almost happened to me once in real life.
Dude, same. And with that fact, yeah, dude, exactly, samesies. And with that, I will passy turny the table over to our most lovable, I'd say, character of the group is Barty, who is played by the ineffable Jerry.
Jerry, I thought you were going to turn it over to the lore master, because I think we all love him most. Let's be honest. He's the one that made this whole thing possible.
Saving the best for last kind of a thing right now.
Truly. Truly. Well, thank you for that inordinate and flamboyant introduction, Drew. Yes, it is true. I do play the ever troublesome Barty Took. If you don't know by now what he does, I don't know what you're doing. You need to listen to a few more episodes, because this guy, he's out there. He likes to live his life as closely to a dwarf as he imagines dwarves live, and it leads to a lot of hilarious blunders and certainly a fair share amount of flagons, and that actually leads right into his little fun fact. He's been kicked out of 3 taverns in the Shire for being having too many weaponry, which is one, but still, that's one too many for these three taverns. So, yeah. Anyways, with that in mind, Barty would love to introduce you guys to the man who made this all possible, the man we all love and potentially hate as well, our illustrious lore master, David.
Greetings, one and all. I'm the lore master, David, and we wouldn't be here without anybody who's here, probably. But this is kind of my brainchild in a manner of speaking. And I'm just glad that we've been able to come as far as we have, and this is the last episode, so that's great. It just really, I'm happy. Just kidding. I haven't decided that.
What? He hasn't decided.
Any episode could be the last one.
That's true. TPK is around the corner.
My secret fact is that a duck just flew by. My secret fact, my super secret special fact is that my house was flooded in between these last 2 episodes, and so we're
That's not a... Oof.
super secret fact. The Shire may receive a flood as well, just out of retribution.
Just out of spite.
Yeah. Just it's like you're having a dream and somebody puts your hand in water. All of a sudden, you're dreaming.
You flooded your bed.
You flooded your dreams and therefore your bed. Anyway, so that's my super secret fact because I couldn't think of anything else. Partly because we're dealing with that.
If I may,
Well,
I
it
feel
was
like
super secret
all of
to
us
me.
have a potentially personal, anecdotal, fun fact of the day. It was very interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of geese, just for the record.
Just
No,
exactly
I know,
what someone who's
but,
afraid of geese
but I
would say.
ran with it. It was good because I didn't think of anything. It was a good thing to run with. Thank you. But yeah,
Excellent.
it was a super secret fact to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know until today.
Hey,
So, sorry. That's
all right.
sucks.
no,
That's really sucks.
that's the
dude.
way
Yeah.
life goes. Sometimes you get a little bit of a
man.
curveball, and you either duck or it smacks you in the face. So
I have something. Wait.
Wait for it.
Wait.
Wait for it.
All right, that's it.
there's the
You
duck.
realize
Okay,
nobody else in the recording hears that,
Yeah.
right? Like
It's
it's
okay.
just
it's all right.
everyone on the podcast
I
is
can
like,
insert a duck
"Wait for
sound.
what?"
On post.
Here's the duck sound. Okay, it's gonna be there.
There you go.
Yep. Thank you, David.
Either that or I'll
Future
remove
David,
this whole
Just real
thing.
quick, future David, you're awesome. Thank
Yep.
you.
No worries. All right. Well, shall we dive back into the Shire
We'll delve into
adventure
this.
of the Yuletide? So,
In February.
when we last left off, the band of bees. I don't like that. It's
hive.
Yeah, the beehive. The blunderers, the blunderers of the Flagons, headed to the Bird and Babe, accompanied by another bee, Bolger, Sheriff Bolger, whose first name has still not been ascertained. Another super secret, silly fact.
I thought it was Sheriff.
And he
I thought it was fat.
no,
That can't be included.
you've been
over this.
told
Strike
that's
it.
incorrect.
That's not okay.
But you sat him down and fed him soup and told him of your plans and the possibilities, and he was, even though he had previously stated that he was a bit skeptical and a little disappointed with how loud the acquiring of such things were, you showed him that you did indeed collect the soup, and you did indeed present it to him in a fashion that was satisfactory, if not abundantly so.
Delightful.
So he was pleased to offer you a second task, which he did not get into the details of, but he gave you the opportunity to have him as your not sponsor, that's not the word, patron.
Like,
Eyes are
patron?
shockingly blue in
Patron.
that light.
Because I think of like patron.
Patron.
He's like a
Patron.
patron.
Yeah, like a cleric. He's like our hobbit cleric.
Yeah, he offered
patron
offered
saint.
to
That's
Benefactor.
a brain picture.
patron.
Dom.
Patron is the word. Yeah, he
Dom
offered to be your
Corleone.
patron, at least in the short term, which would provide you with some undetermined bonus as of yet. But it would help you basically overall to have a patron, whether it is this gentleman or someone else.
I vote
Like
someone
Dahlia
else.
of the Green Dragon.
Well, you vote someone else.
So, as we zoom back in, you're in this kind of private dining room where Bolger has finished slurping down the soup and is using a oversized sausage-looking finger to get the last remnants of soup out of the bowl, licking it off his finger.
Well, that was quite delicious, I must say. Well, consider what I've said to you today. I believe if you were to work for me in the future, I would, of course, request a bit more caution on your side, perhaps a bit more je ne sais quoi. A bit more caution and care in as far as how you go about such things. But it's up to you. I'll be in the post office, and please do come to see me before you leave town, one way or the other. I'd like to know what your plans are for the future, and make sure you get that coin to Gerda.
Right. So as he leaves,
He pushes the
Barty
table
returns.
away from him. Just it screeches across the floor. He has to get out a good bit, so he pushes the table back, and
Banjo falls on the floor.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
so waiting for him to exit the room, Barty, after he has left and is well out of earshot, turns to him and says, "Right, I didn't think you could make soup look more disgusting than that."
I'll tell you one thing. All this gold doesn't say so, Barty. Hey, ho, hey, ho, hey.
Oh,
We got
put
the
him in charge of the
gold.
gold. Give me that.
Well, I got this gold. This is my gold now. No, I'm playing. But really though, we did a good job. Can I get a beer for crying out loud?
respectfully.
Respectfully.
Right.
Well, boys, we don't know what we want to do here.
I do.
What do you want to do here?
You
Barty?
bloody well got to get back to Dahlia and let her know the business venture that Garrett has already signed on to.
Are you not
And
worried
give her
about
this bloomin' gold.
getting the hard end of somebody's fist then after we might want to enter in quite cautiously there. I'm a little
Coins
concerned.
first, if you may. Coins first.
Right. I don't know. A parcel.
Right.
A parcel.
Banjo
might
wants
be-
to split the gold. Banjo wants to split the gold.
No,
Split the gold.
We take the gold that we got for ourselves. We give her all the gold, or all the silver possible, because I think it was silver.
Yeah.
We give her as much money as we possibly can because we stole. We straight up stole from her. So
right.
maybe
so
if
why don't we face the music?
No, but here's
We've already made
I was
our
thinking
bed,
about
let's
this,
lie in
lads.
it.
I know I don't do that a lot, but I was actually theorizing that maybe if we go back to the Green Dragon, successfully talk to them and get everything sorted, give the money to them, we could maybe then barter a deal where we actually purchase
Barney, a
mushrooms
deal.
that are supplied by Gerda, purchased by Sheriff,
All right. it's
and
good.
we rent like a cart or something, like a little wagon and a pony, to get all of the mushrooms and supplies back to where we need it for the festival. I think that is the only way we can get the supplies over is by renting or buying a cart
I'll do you one better.
of some sort.
Since we're already paying her off, why don't we just ask her to do the soup? What? And now that I think about it, why didn't we just ask her to do the soup for the Yule? Why did we have to steal the soup? Why didn't we just ask her?
Because like Sheriff threw this like stick in our tires where it's like, yo, go get this soup, but no one can know about this. Like nobody can know about this. Like it's got to be a super top secret thing. Because I don't
That's
know.
good.
Because I don't know. But yeah, that was the whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, that was why we didn't go in there boots a stomping just asking for it. We had to go sneaky deaky like. And now that we have a vote of confidence from one person, we can have the purse from that person, which means
Right, and we do have what's Jarek's wife's name? We do have the thank you note from her as well to
Bless
kind
you.
of soften everything up too.
yeah.
Butter tulips or something. Whatever. What's her
Petunia.
name? Petunia. I was close.
Bless you.
It's flowers.
Bless you. Bless me. I said it too. But yeah, I'm super down to maybe get like a well-written note from, a couple other hobbits. Maybe we could get a petition going. Maybe I don't know.
It's not a bad idea.
Just get like all the big names. Be like, don't trust us. If you don't trust, look at these guys. Don't trust us, poor little hobbits. We don't know nothing. Trust these guys. They're
We were put on
upstanding
payroll.
citizens. We could get the Bilbo's gardener's signatures. We could just go around the Shire collecting signatures for a petition to move Boff and Croc down to down from Hobbiton.
In this episode of Blunders and Flagons, the Hobbit boys go political. Time to start lobbying for Boffin's Croc abroad.
Excuse me, sir. I don't know if you've heard this, but have you voted yet?
It's just a little hobbit knocking at someone's door.
Recruit Fred.
Sign our petition to move Boffin's Croc down here to Michael Delvey, please.
We've done economics. We've done corporate espionage. Why not politics? It's the next in the long line of crimes.
It's logical.
In the next line of crimes.
Listen, being a politician is a crime.
I like this, buddy. It's a good one. That was a good one. Especially in the Shire.
All right. So, what say you to pooling our funds, finding a reasonable amount, and you two go talk to Miss Gerda Boffin and Meat Hands. What's his name? What's his blooming name?
You want to go under a bridge again? Come on, man. We're a team. We've already gotten our first shadow point. Oh wait, no, not shadow points. We already leveled up, man. Together, we all leveled up together, man.
You did get shadow points, to be fair.
We did get shadow point, but I only said one shadow point. We got way more than one.
Not
Some of us got more than others.
Really? When did we talk about that?
Yeah,
I don't think.
100%.
We didn't get any last episode.
Well, I think we
so.
all have 3, right?
Yeah.
Do we? I
Drew's
thought
like,
some
I
person
have
has
7.
more.
I believe it's 3 apiece. Yeah, 3 apiece.
Really? I thought one person got more because of the.
I got one more than everybody originally, but y'all caught up.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because I'm thinking about the Boyd, the owl.
Bird, there's a bird.
Right.
So, as you
Places here.
as you're discussing these things, you hear that out in the main dining room, things seem to be ramping back up again. It is a touch after noon. It's taken a little bit for you to collect Bolger after retrieving the herbs needed and, the wandering that was done. You took your time and milked it a little bit. So it's getting on to be almost time for afternoon tea. As that approaches and you have an offer from a patron, a possible patron on your hands, what would you like to do? You're sitting here in this private-ish dining room, and the place is starting to fill up.
Your lips have been very shut these few moments. I will defer to your uneducated decision.
Well, obviously you're talking to me.
Just Banjo cuts right in. That's good.
Well, I've been thinking, which may not be a great idea, and you may say that you defer, but if your definition of deferring is anything like what you've been doing so far, which is to say you go along with it and then proceed to complain about it and rub it in everybody's faces when inevitably some decisions are perhaps not so well thought through.
Well,
I didn't follow any of that.
To be fair. Come on.
You just gestured to all of yourself. Why did you do that?
Banjo is on one and I'm loving it.
Right. I agree. We should make amends with Miss Boffin and Mr. Boffin to avoid getting our skulls caved in or any unpleasantness, really.
Really, I just like to get it out of the way.
Right. I'm not.
I don't want to live.
I'm not concerned with, being knocked upside the head. That really doesn't happen all that common in the Shire, but I don't want my name being twisted and warped by others talking bad about me. So,
It might already be happening too.
Right. So I think repairing our reputation should be high on our priority list. And to that effect, the notion of getting signatures might not be the worst idea I've ever heard.
It might be my worst idea I've ever heard.
Well, listen. The thing of it is, the Green Dragon Inn has something that other people want. The Boffin's Croc. It's popular, everybody knows about it, but it can only be had at the Green Dragon Inn. I wonder if perhaps having the signatures of all these fair hobbits out here who are bereft and deprived of the fine right of every good hobbit to enjoy a good food, a hot, hearty soup.
It's hot, yes.
It's just injustice is what it is. It's injustice. And I think perhaps giving some signatures on a paper to show to Gerda and what's his name, who I forget.
Rumble.
I should have his name.
Rumbled.
In Rumble, thank you.
Humbled.
Rumbled. And the proprietor of the Green Dragon Inn, whose name, Delia, I think it was?
Dahlia.
Dahlia?
Yep.
Right. And Dahlia
Who are all these people we come
have... We've met so many people. So
It's
have
just
some
so hard
signatures.
to put a name to a name here. Or a name
Have
to a
some
voice.
signatures to show them might not be a bad idea to demonstrate and say, look, we have all these names of good, kind hobbits who would pay good, kind coin for your soup out in Mickle Delving. I think that might go a long way, as well as offering the coin, of course.
Yeah. Sweeten. Honey. You get more flies with honey than with... What's the other one?
Oil.
Gun. Yeah.
And to perhaps encourage the signing of signatures, we do have a nice big pot of Boffin's Crock cooking right now as we speak. And it is mealtime coming up here soon. We'll have a throng of hobbits in here for afternoon tea. So here's my idea. We offer samples of Boffin's Crock.
But only under the condition they sign the petition.
Well, I don't know about only if...
No. Trust your work. We convinced Bulger.
Right, exactly.
They'll sign.
That's another
They'll
thing I
sign.
was thinking.
They'll sign. They're gonna sign. Sharks, I have something very...
Who's our next skit, you guys?
Wait.
Didn't we do that
what is
already, though?
Barracudas, I
Oh,
have
yeah, we
something
did.
very...
I'm pretty sure we
did.
had a shark.
Yeah.
Literally the
Yeah,
exact same
Tripper
thing.
That could be the beginning of this one. That's perfect.
Actually, or we could have a skit of all of us doing door to door, asking for signatures.
Yeah.
We could do
People's
Soup
response.
DoorDash. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a good...
Boffin's Crock door dashing. It's like I just got a message from my Hobbit Dasher. He just said he ate it. It's
my.
Brandywine because they go over the boats. Okay.
Okay, anyway,
Anyways,
sorry.
there's too many good ideas in the middle of a podcast. Let's
I'll just
Well,
type
we're
them
in a
out.
minute.
Don't forget them.
Yeah.
So I think that might not be a bad idea. Have a nice big piece of parchment out right beside a nice big bowl of soup, and offer out samples, and have people sign and say that they would love to see Boffin's Crock served over here in the Bird and Babe.
This is a great idea. Let's leave this soup simmering literally all night until tomorrow. And we'll do it on lunch tomorrow.
Well, it's actually off the fire right now. I just feel like I have to point this out. You put
Is
too
it?
much wood on it. Right,
No, not anymore.
You put it on too high, and we took it off to save it.
Yeah, it cooled down and then you had to put it back on.
Did we put it back on already?
Yeah, because it was
Oh, we
simmering.
got to make sure to do that.
Yeah, it was back on. Because
Bacon.
we just wasted
Bacon.
time letting it cool down. The fire was too hot. Petunia took it off. It's okay. You were what were you doing? You were
Rizzing. I was
You were
rizzing.
Bulger. That's what they call it. And yeah, that's exactly what you were doing. No, I was making the soup, man. It's back on the stove. But I say because again, like the lore master totally rubbed it in our face. We did not give this soup enough time. And I think if we let the fragrance also get to people, because that was the main thing, fragrance. So, and then people outside, they're going to be walking by and they're going to be like, ooh, what's that? Was that Boffin? Yeah, that can't be Boffin's Crock. I've got to see for myself. I could totally see these hobbits doing that. These fools, these plebeians. I'm just going to stand up on my chair and look around, start pointing at all. No, but yeah, that's definitely what Banjo wants to do.
Let's do it.
But yeah, I want to wait for tomorrow. Let it simmer.
Wait.
Let it soak up. Let's rest up. I mean, dude, let's
hold
congratulate ourselves, huh?
I thought part of this plan was just because we're right at the dawn of tea time.
No.
Do you want to wait another day?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I'm sorry, I could have sworn
We
Barry
gotta,
said
dude.
there's a need for expedience to get back there so our names don't get slurried or sullied or something.
Dude,
And then
we gotta take a day. I didn't sleep at all last night.
Yeah, but you had blackberries.
We're not going to be able to go back to Hobbiton tonight, is the thing. I don't care for starting a journey when the day is half over. So we're going to have to sleep the night here either way.
Right.
But I think Banjo does have a point. We want to let the soup simmer for a little bit longer, so perhaps let it simmer and allow that smell to waft out here. Perhaps we can just get some tea towels or something and kind of waft,
I was about to suggest that.
encourage the scent to go out to the
Just
front
open the
of
window in the back.
dining hall. But we might serve it for dinner, for supper, for the evening meal, whatever you may call it.
Maybe we just take a quick nap.
Dinner
in one
or
of the rooms
supper.
here.
Give it a couple more hours to kind of condense and consolidate those delicious mushroomy, earthy smells.
Umami.
Right.
Mommy.
I need to refresh my definition of whatever the nonsense that is.
But yeah, I'm very, very down for that, and I agree
Right.
that we do need to sleep the night here, and
So our
then
plan is take a short rest
tonight.
right
What?
now, this afternoon. Have the soup ready to go by supper time. Yes?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Perfect.
don't even need to necessarily take a short rest. We could be just doing whatever we care to do, but for
We
the
could go
purposes
talk
of
to
mechanical...
I could try to swindle myself a beer. That's always fun, you guys. I should go do that. I'm gonna go do
Sure.
that. I'm gonna.
Barney scowls darkly and doesn't say anything.
It's like, all right, well, while we're doing that, I'm gonna make sure the soup's on the fire. I'll let Patricia know about everything, or what's her face,
Patricia?
and
Petunia?
bless you. And
We
once
really
we get
just
in
need
there,
to put their names.
yeah, I'll settle down. Do we want to get a room for the evening right now?
Yes.
All right, I want to put all my stuff in there. We could put all our stuff down and just have a day. Just free time. That kind of sounds nice.
Well, I suppose we do need to. Well, we do need to refresh a certain herb bag, and I imagine you probably have some stones you need to collect.
I haven't used a single one.
Fair.
I will, but
That's
I
a
will
fair
go for
point.
practice. You know what? You're wrong. You're right. I didn't get my daily practice in yet, so I will go do that. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure the soup's done first.
Sure. So you toddle off, and you see as you pass through the dining room that it is bustling with activity at this point. They have some delicious cooked meat that is being served with potatoes and looks like turnips. And they are serving that to many guests, and they're cheerfully enjoying the repast here at the Bird and Babe. You pass through and get to the kitchen, and Petunia has been joined by another older hobbit woman who is now in the process of roasting these vegetables and trading out crocks. Of course, keeping the one large one on the back, close by the coals that are probably cooler there at the back part of the fire. But there's quite a few hooks that can be swung out, and you see that there's probably 4 or 5 crocks dangling above the fire and in various stages of readiness to be served to the guests there. So you see that it's a flurry of activity. They're chopping up more vegetables. It looks like they're getting ready for the evening meals. The afternoon tea sandwiches are being prepared. And it looks like there's quite a few kettles that are ready to serve nice blistering hot tea for this cool weather.
I fancy a
Dude,
spot of tea
that
time. How
is-
about you, gentlemen?
That is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna let the gents know what's on the menu.
Is it pheasant? I didn't get any pheasant
Dude.
last time.
Dude, there's some primo lunch. I'm gonna get me a slice of everything. There's some tea, some crumpets,
A slice
there's a
of
little bit of
tea.
this and that.
Perfect. So Jarrett is at the front counter, and when you ask for a meal, he quickly jots it down and passes it back through a little window right behind the bar. There's a stack of papers there, and soon enough, a piping hot meal comes out. The tea sandwiches aren't quite ready, so it looks like this is the roast meal. You're not quite sure. It looks like it could be a some sort of mutton next to the potatoes and turnips. Now that you look a little bit closer, and you can tear into it. It's nice and rare in the middle. There's this delicious looking sauce that's on top of it that looks like an herb sauce that is mixed with some delicious aromas, and it just is melting together quite nicely in your mouth. The meat is cooked perfectly and literally just melts in your mouth as you enjoy it with those neeps and tatties, as we call them in Scotland.
I'm getting serious Studio Ghibli vibes from the sound of this dinner.
That is a dish that I had in Scotland. It was the sheep with it was really good.
Dude, that sounds
Banjo, are you drooling?
I'm like
served with
white-knuckling
lamb
my
sauce.
chair right now.
Yeah, it was lamb with, it was a I don't know, it was some green sauce. Potatoes and turnips. Really good.
The lamb sauce.
So you can enjoy that meal, and Jared is checking in on you. I assume you took a seat there at the bar once again.
I'm assuming all three of us.
So how did it go with Bolger there? He seemed to enjoy the soup from what I heard, and
Jarek, you have no blooming clue.
it's actually
This man is
it's Jared actually Barty.
Yeah, Barty is Jarrett.
You have no blooming clue, right? He was blown away. And let me tell you, if you need a speech done right, you come to Barty.
Well, great. I'm glad that seemed to work out for you. So you'll be able to supply us with the mushrooms that we need to sell this then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Barry?
We're going up there.
I love how all the easy problems are fine for Barty, but the minute things...
Hey, listen.
Well, that we're hoping that we can make an arrangement and establish a market trade, a fair market trade with Gerda Buffin for her mushrooms. We do have alternative plans if, for whatever reason, she doesn't seem agreeable to bartering for mushrooms. But at any rate, we are hoping and planning on supplying mushrooms. Yes.
Very good. Well, I was just curious. I was thinking on what you had said about someone perhaps growing the mushrooms, and now that I think about it, I do remember there being a farmer who came by. Well, a hopeful farmer. He has no farm yet, but he just inherited some land, and I believe that he was looking to start perhaps a mushroom farm. And if you had spores to give to him, I'm sure he'd be quite grateful. And I'm not sure how long it takes to grow a mushroom, but in my mind, it only takes a few weeks to see the fruit. So I don't know. It probably wouldn't be ready for the Yuletide or anything, mind you. But you might be able to coordinate with this farmer. What was his name? Farmer larva, farmer worm, farmer.
Oh, I've heard of him. That's Farmer Maggot.
Oh yes, he's a young lad. He's not even a farmer yet, really. But I think he's hoping to start a mushroom farm out by Buckland, and he's been by around asking for perhaps some spores and trying to see who's got any this time of year. So I don't know, if you see him, maybe he'd be able to coordinate with you.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely keep that in consideration. We're looking for partnership. You say he's out in Buckland, though.
That's where he's got land, so I'm not sure if he has any property up here, but he was here asking. regarding fruits and spores that he could use to start. So perhaps he's got something close by, or perhaps he'd be able to arrange some way to transport him back and forth. I'm not sure.
Well, it might be worth a little trip down to Buckland then.
Buckland.
Very well might.
Buckland.
Appreciate the news.
Where
Appreciate
is
the
Buckland?
news.
Well, of course, I recognize that we are not of the means of which to pay what you were thinking Gerda might want for her mushrooms. So I'm racking my brain trying to find a way. Having tasted a little bit of the soup myself, mind you, just a spoonful, I recognize the potential, and certainly if there's any way possible, we'd like to be able to offer it to our loyal patrons.
Well, we'll see what we can arrange.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Anyways, so
We'll send our raven your way, Jared.
we've got a lot of offers on our table right now, Jarek. So, yeah.
Jared. His name is Bloomin' Jared.
That's what I said.
That's what he
That's
said.
what I said, Jared.
Sure.
I said Jared.
Oi, Jar. My man Jar over here.
We'll just call you Jared for short.
Just call him Jer
That's what we
Bear.
call me.
I will call you the owner of the birded babe.
Hey, Mr. the owner of the bird and babe.
Proprietor.
Can I have a beer, Mr. the owner of the bird and babe?
Papaya.
Can I get a beer, please, proprietor?
He pours a root beer and slides it over to Banjo.
Sips on it with a silly straw size.
So will you be needing a room here today?
Yes.
Very good. Well, I've got
Definitely.
the same accommodations that number 3. It's
Unfortunately,
ready and set for you.
Jared, I've got a little bit of bad news for you, unfortunately.
What's that?
I think we're out of comfrey to trade the room for.
Well,
I slap all of our silver that we just made on the comfrey. He's funny. Yes.
Puts a top hat
room-
on, goes,
One room, please. Well, wasn't it two silver? It's 3 silver, Jarek.
well, thank you, Master Bun.
5.
That's very, very nice of you, and certainly a business associate of mine would be welcome to stay at my establishment whenever needed. So if you just chalk it up to an investment in our relationship, and you can keep your silver or tip our staff. Of course, they need a living wage as well. So
That's what this is for, then.
of course, well, I'll make sure.
To the staff, they're great.
Perfect. Well, I'll make sure it gets into their hands, and we'll look forward to the future and what perhaps we'll be able to serve here at the Bird and Babe as a courtesy of what do you call yourselves something? Are you an association, a party, a
it's
troupe?
No, it's the Bumbling Bees LLC Incorporated.
The Bumbling Bees. What's the LLC stand for?
Lucky Children.
Very nice. Well, all right. Well, you lucky children, you enjoy your stay, and just feel free to let me know. And of course, if there's any rooms available whenever you come by, I'll be happy to let you stay in one.
What does LLC actually stand for, guys?
Limited Liability Company.
Oh, I don't know.
I do.
Wow, clearly you're not into business.
Dude, I work for the man.
In business. Not into
Christ.
business.
That was...
Yeah, I
was
don't
fun.
have business. I have perception and hunting and stealth. I don't have business. There's not even business on here. I'm looking at the sheet right now.
So you're able to go about enjoying your meal, and you are able to savor the spread that lies before you. In between this meal and your tea sandwiches that are coming later on, is there something that you want to do? You mentioned some target practice. You mentioned some getting of herbs. Anything that you want to do abroad?
You know, Banjo, you have. Hold on. First of all, how close does Banjo live to the Bird and the Babe?
I don't know. I don't really know where I live from here.
Because I'll tell you one thing. I personally wouldn't mind practicing a bit of me hatchet throwing at the same place you practice your sling and throwing.
Yeah, we can do that. I usually just pick a nice little clearing and set up a couple rocks to throw stuff at. But for your,
Well, you don't throw hatchets at rocks. Silly.
that's what I'm saying. So we'll set you up with a log, and I'll get a rock, and then because you throw wood at wood, and I'll throw rocks at rocks. It'll work out. And hey,
It's a
Barry, if you want to
skill,
tag along,
but
just
sure.
don't
Right, you
don't
can
hang
throw
out
mint
at the-
leaves at the ground.
Dude, I would kill to see like herbalist magic where it's like throwing knives but with plants.
Like pine needles, like you know how people can like flick toothpicks. He's like
Yeah.
flicking pine needles.
There you go. All right. Anyways, well, actually, they did have that. It's in the Hobbit. Fire pine cones.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's herbalist magic right there, man.
Fire and pine cones.
That's Maiar magic,
magic
which is a
of hobbits.
little different.
No. They just set some pine cones on fire. That's all they did. That wasn't magic. It wasn't magic at all.
I'm pretty sure Gandalf was lighting the pine cones on fire, but
No, totally not.
splitting hairs. Barry was actually thinking about asking if Jarrett if Jarrett might know of any individuals besides Sheriff Bolger that might be a potential patron.
Jared.
Well, let me see. The mayor oftentimes needs assistance with an odd this or that. Those of influence in the community are typically those who would be interested in hiring such folks as yourselves for odd jobs and such. Bilbo Baggins has been known to recruit adventurers. He's something of an odd duck and quite a queer one for living in Hobbiton, but that's somebody who might have an opportunity to do so.
You said Bilbo Baggins hires adventurers, Jared.
I've heard this and that. He's known to go off on a mad quest or two and disappear for weeks on. I don't like that noise. And disappear for weeks on end.
Calm down, Barty.
But yeah, it's I couldn't say for sure that any of those folks would be interested in hiring you for sure. But just as what's been done in past, I'm sure that it's possible.
Forget about the Green Dragon. Let's see if Bilbo Baggins has something for us to do.
Nah, man, he's gonna turn me into a frog.
What?
Yeah, my
Where'd
mom
you start
was
with
like,
this frog business, Banjo?
Bilbo's gonna turn you into a frog. Don't go near there.
And I listen.
I
man.
mean, his gardener looked
pretty
pretty
spooky.
non-frogged to me.
Well, that's because, dude, would you turn your gardener into a frog?
Right. Would you turn the people doing your quest into frogs? It's literally our
Yes.
protection to go
Well,
do a job for him.
Here's the thing, man. I don't want to do any quests with that guy. He's crazy. He's insane. Haven't you heard the
survivor.
stories? Have you heard the stories about Bilbo Baggins?
Yeah, I've heard the stories about Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins. He's not
Bilbo
a good.
Baggins.
He's not a cool guy. He's insano mode. He's
Right, and Sheriff
he stays
Bolger
in there
isn't.
scribbling around in his. I don't know. I've met Sheriff Bolger. I haven't met the other guy.
Right.
But Sheriff Bolger, he's kind of a charming guy. He's got his thing. He's got his things, right? He eats. That's his thing. Bilbo, I don't know what his thing is. His thing is turning people into frogs. That's what his thing is. I don't like that thing.
I don't know. I'd
Either
like
way.
to go. I'd like to go talk to him.
Oh,
I haven't
man,
gotten
I
a
don't wanna-
raven from.
You go
Slam
turn into a
Fast.
frog, man. I'll watch.
So your meal wraps up as you talk with Jarrett, and it looks like things are dying down now, and there's staff clearing tables, and Jarrett is as well. Is there anything else I can help you with? Do you need anything? The room's open whenever you'd like to stay. It's the second door on the right, back there past the private dining room where you were with Bolger. Just let me know if I can help you with anything.
Jared, you're a right gem of a man.
Oh,
I
thank you.
appreciate everything you do for us. We'll always come back to the Bird and Babe.
Well, thank you. I certainly hope so, since we might be business partners. That would be rather awkward if we didn't see you around here after that. So thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, no.
Well, you never know. My cousin, I said, "Hey, see you next week," and then the guy tries to swim. He does not know how to swim, and I did not see him the next week. So sometimes you don't know.
Speaking of friends and family and not seeing people, I don't. My family doesn't care about seeing me, but Barry, hasn't your family? I mean, it's been nigh close to what, a week since you've been home. 4 days, 5 days.
I've been sending letters, of course.
And Banjo, your family's okay with an underage hobbit traveling around the Shire?
Oh yeah, my mom's okay with it. My dad's
Just starts
okay
walking
with
along
it.
the table edge.
My brothers are okay with it. My whole family's okay with it. Yeah.
Secretly a runaway.
Yeah, he's like a Huckleberry Finn.
Honestly, I genuinely wouldn't doubt it. I mean, his whole thing is that he's trying to be like his brothers, which there's no way his parents would agree.
I'm a big kid now.
Bro's not even from anywhere near.
Oh dear.
He's actually an elf human.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely interesting.
So you wrap up your mealtime. Where are you headed to at this point? You wanted to go to shooting range, a clearing?
Yeah, I would want to just go kind of like what I did in Hobbiton, just kind of walking the paths.
Want to wander?
Just wander until I find
See if anything
an
interesting
opening, a clearing that's, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of wide open spaces around to set up either a little log with a rock on top on one side, and then maybe a little kind of piece of driftwood for Barty to practice with. And
Sure.
maybe Barry would go foraging
On
in the
around.
distance. Yeah, the distance or
Don't
something.
hit him with anything.
And then just be like,
Ouch.
kind of giving Barty tips. Be like, yeah, you don't want to throw it with anything of you in front of what you're throwing. You want every part of you behind what you're throwing. Does that make any sense?
Perfect sense.
So go ahead and make a
Roll for how good you do.
yeah. So let's see. Just go ahead and make an attack with your given weapon. Did I give you your? I never gave you your sling stats, did I?
No. I
Just
still
use
don't
the
have-
bow as your stat. And
Oh, dang it. That's Microsoft Edge. Oh, sorry. 1 second.
and Jerry, you can
This
use
episode.
the hatchet stats for your attack. And Daniel, go ahead and make a perception check for foraging.
Okay. A nature check or just perception?
Do perception.
Dang it.
Just for the sake of the audio podcast.
I'm going to call it a sling.
Just
You
state
can roll with modifiers.
what you're rolling, what the result on the dice was, and then what your modifier is and the total.
What's my modifier for?
So it would
Attack?
be your dexterity, I
Proficiency.
believe, for a thrown weapon.
Yeah, proficiency plus whatever modifier, whatever ability score is used with the weapon, which would, for a ranged weapon, is dexterity, typically.
Proficiency. So hold on 1 second.
Proficiency
I
is
need to look
2.
at this because +4 for my dex, so that's a +6.
Dang. Yep. That's crazy.
That
What's your
sounds wrong. That
4.
doesn't sound
Yeah,
right.
No, what's your
Do you have-
dexterity?
Do you have 18 dexterity?
Yeah, I got 18 dexterity.
Yeah,
Okay, 'cause I
that's
do as
correct.
well.
It's a +6. That's stupid. What the heck?
Maybe I should.
So
Okay,
1d6. All right.
Well, you roll your d20 first, right, for your attack,
Yeah.
Right.
Plus 4
Plus. the modifier, and then you roll your damage.
damage. 1.
Right. So you rolled a
Six.
10 plus 6 would be 16.
Well, I haven't rolled yet.
Well, there's a result, a d20 that you rolled.
Oh yeah. You want to count that one?
I mean,
Supposed to be plus, so it would be 16.
but it would be 6. So 16.
That's not bad.
Sure.
Take it. Take that roll.
Is that the weapon
I'd take that
bonus
roll.
itself? The 2?
So it would be dexterity, your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh, I have
If you're proficient, which we'll
I only
say
have a
you're...
proficiency in hunting and stealth.
Yeah, I don't know if you
I'm
have
not really hunting.
proficiency in these weapons.
Probably. I mean,
Oh yeah, if it's a whatchamacallit?
Sling.
Well, a sling I would, but again,
Well, usually that's
treating
listed
it as a
in
bow.
your calling, and I don't remember it listing specific... Oh, no, it may have listed specific
Simple
weapons.
Does
Yeah,
the simple weapon include a sling?
I think it does. We'll say it does.
Sure.
Have your proficiency
so it's
bonus.
1d20 plus 4 then.
Okay.
Or plus 6, or because of the proficiency rate, because I have an 18
Yeah.
dex.
Dang. How y'all have such high... This is crazy.
I actual rolled for my stats, so I have an intelligence
Yeah.
of 9 and a wisdom of 10.
Well, yeah.
And 12
Dang,
strength
you got
and
bad
charisma,
rolls.
15 const, and 18 dex.
Rolled at 21.
Nice.
All right,
nice.
so Barty rolled a d20 and got a 10 plus a 6 from a proficiency in Dex, getting a 16.
Wait, why am I rolling a d20 for... Oh, no, I'm not rolling for damage.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You don't have to roll damage for this. I mean, because you're doing target practice. So basically, we'll say that Banjo, you take your sling, you hold it above your head, you swing it around, and you let it fly, and it almost zaps straight for the rock that you've selected, and it clicks off of it with a very satisfying sound as it appears that you even not shattered the rock, but you cracked it, and it falls apart. Either that was a rock that you had hit several times before, or you happened to hit a less than dense spot on it. But you definitely nailed it, and Barty, inspired by your dead-on accuracy, he throws his hatchet, and he has to be a little bit closer, so he maybe takes 2 steps forward, but gives a good heave with his axe, and it sinks deeply into a stump nearby, and gives a satisfying thud as it lands. Meanwhile, Barry is searching for some goods in the fields, and as you do, yeah,
I got a 15.
okay,
So I rolled a 15, and my perception modifier bonus is 2. So that would be 17.
okay. So as you do that, you're able to find probably 2 or 3 different patches of herbs. They're decent quality. They're not the best ones you've ever found, but for this late in the year, you're pretty pleased with what you're able to locate and add to your collection to dry and treat. And as you're doing so, you actually notice some footprints nearby. And they are booted feet, as you take a closer look, which stands out in a strange way to you. And as you do, you actually hear a bit of a grunt nearby. And a hooded head pops up and from the bushes, and it towers over you. A tall figure, and a prodigious nose pokes out from underneath this hood, and a similarly colored cloth immediately under the nose, almost as if it's propping up the nose and making it stand out further, like an awning standing out of a parked car. But this is a very strange sight to you, this tall creature, and a bit disturbing. And he looks at you up and down wordlessly.
Hey, we're not there, Barry. This is
I
all
know,
you.
Is it? I mean, it's fairly safe to say that most hobbits are at least aware of the existence of humans and elves, or is it kind of like a thing that's like, oh, I've heard of the stories of creatures called humans and elves that are myth.
It's common that they are talked about as not quite to the degree that we would say cryptids are in society, in our society today, right? But definitely as other nationalities, probably maybe like people from a different country.
They belong somewhere else.
Yeah, it would be strange to see them in the Shire. It wouldn't be shocking to see them just because you were seeing them, but it would be strange to encounter one. And of course, the main difference being that physically they are quite different, just in terms of height and in terms of what they wear and everywhere they go. They can't be mistaken for a hobbit. So in that way, yeah, in that way, it is strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barry will kind of be startled a little bit, but he'll hold his ground and kind of, in a voice that's not overly loud, but loud enough so that he could hope that Barty and Banjo might hear him from the clearing. He will greet the mysterious hooded stranger. Well, I wasn't expecting to see anyone out here. My name's Barry, and who might I have the pleasure of meeting out here in the woods?
Do we hear him?
You likely would, yes. I think he was gathering fairly close by. And as you greet him, a black-feathered bird, which you might recognize as a raven, flies down and lands on his shoulder with a caw. And he says,
Well, hello there, laddie. The name's Balin. Balin, son of Fundin. And I'm looking for a Barty Took. Would you happen to know where he is?
You said you're Balin?
Balin?
Looking for Barty?
Aye, that's right. I've been sent here by Bilbo Baggins. He said he's had a request to speak with a dwarf.
Well, he's right this way. I think he'll be quite pleased to see you. He does nothing but talk about dwarves and dwarvish things. Right this way, sir.
He kind of has a glint in his eye as he follows you and heads over to where it appears that Barty has just landed a axe deeply into the stump.
Well, a fine hit there, lad. Fine hit. His name's Balin, a dwarf.
Just side note, I would like to point out his name also starts with B. I don't know if that was intentional, David, but...
Nobody can think of anything but bee names in this.
For some reason, Tolkien and bees go hand in hand. I don't know what to say.
It's true.
Barty, what are you doing with your voice? Banjo, Barry, it was... what?
All his days he's been talking about dwarves. He finally meets one. Can't get one out.
I'm gonna get my axe. And he
So,
runs across the clearing and
You know, I've
tries
never
to pull
met
the
a
axe out of the
dwarf
stump.
before.
And like his hands slip because they're sweaty. So his hands like slip off the axe and he falls on his rump. Pulls it out and then like is like looking at the dwarf to see if he's watching. Hello, my name is Barty.
Well, it's a great pleasure to meet you, Barty. I've been sent here by Mr. Baggins. Perhaps you've heard of him. Aye.
Bilbo, I know of Bilbo. He did so many things.
Absolutely.
He killed dragons and
Aye.
traveled with
Well,
dwarves.
he killed no dragons, but that's beside the point.
Right. You're a dwarf.
Aye.
You're a dwarf.
That I am, and actually, I've got a good reason for finding you here in these woods. Perhaps have you any interest in a rabbit stew for dinner?
Ooh.
He holds up a brace of conies and gestures a little further north.
You know,
Why don't you
rabbit sounds great.
join me and
Stew
sit
maybe
around
not.
my fire,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about some a possibility. And so he leads you north, just outside of Mickledelving, and as you approach, you see there's some coals, and that he quickly kicks up into a blaze, and begins preparing these rabbits for dinner. As we will go ahead and close the curtain on today's episode, and look forward to next time when you see what exactly would Balin, the son of Fundin, be doing in the Shire.
And will Barty eat stew with a dwarf?
So.
Blunders and Flagons is a creation of David Lennox in partnership with Daniel and Drew Lennox and Jerry Hoppmann. Content for this adventure is compiled from Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe. The system and certain names and details of this adventure were adapted from the Free League's work, the Lord of the Rings Roleplaying and Shire Adventures starter set for 5e. Sounds in this episode were sourced in part from freesound.org under the Creative Commons and Attribution license. Atmosphere and other sounds were derived from Monument Studios' Fantasy Music and Cinematic Atmosphere collections under the Creative Commons license. Other music was created using Suno Premium. Detailed attribution found in the description. Thank you for listening to this episode.